manifestations of the Holy Spirit.
Something not always godly.
Not always, that's right. That's right. But there's a lot of negative voices out there, as we
Yes, there are.
And
so how do you know when it's God saying, Perry, I want to speak this to you right now?
And sometimes you don't know. And I think you pray over it and you think about it. And sometimes you just, a lot of times I'll just envision, as you and I are talking here today, I may envision that I'm here talking with God. And how am I supposed to address this issue?
Okay. Realize Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is the same for you right now. So let's pray. Let's call on his name and let him do the rest for you. Let's pray.
International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Maggie Forciero. In the news tonight, marking of bicycle lanes kicks off. Okwanangabe land grabbers ecstatic to move to new land. AR secures partnership with UK law firm to recover fish rod assets. And vultures, the invisible heroes to farmers. The city of Windhoek has started the marking of bicycle lanes in its efforts to become a smart city by 2022. The project aims to promote bicycles as an affordable mode of transport and to reduce traffic congestion in the city.
The city of Windhoek's aim to be a smart city by 2022. The city plans to have an efficient and integrated transportation system consisting of smart mobility in the form of walking and cycling. Cycling as a mode of transport is a low-cost, health-improving way to travel and offers environmental benefits for the city. It is only recent through with concern over climate change, pollution, congestion, and obesity, among others, that cities throughout the world have begun to implement policies to promote cycling. Cycling in itself gives range for places as opposed to walking, which will now allow you to participate in the economy and community. All access education, healthcare, and other urban services at a low cost. The city of Windhoek has joined other cities in this movement.
The initiative will ensure the forming of bicycle lanes along Florence Nightingale Street in Kommersdal, Dr. Kwaima Rirauko Street in Torado Park in Windhoek West, and Andrew Kloppers and Pram Street.
You need to leave the house knowing that you have to pray, because it's that thing of having a fear of, are you going to come back in one piece, or what's going to happen? You never know. Are you going to get bumped? What's going to happen? Because you're training on the highway Monday to Sunday, and it's risky. You never know what's in the other person's mind or in what state that person is. A lot of drivers that think cyclists were not entitled to be on the road, I believe so, and just the fact that we're prone to being involved in a lot of accidents due to people that are not really considerate about how we as cyclists also deserve to be on the road. And benefits of having bike lanes will be the fact that, number one, there will be safety for us. It will be a great opportunity for other people to get on the bike and also just get to experience riding as a family, as friends, and yeah, just enjoy being without having the fear of, no, you might get bumped, or no, you're on a highway, and so many risky things or dangerous things that could happen to a cyclist.
Work commenced on the 8th of September and should be completed by the 31st of January 2022.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m., you can stay true to Namibia Sounds with the Valentine's True Music Sessions. Only on 99 FM. Stay tuned. Stay true. There's no wrong way. Valentine's. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Land grabbers from the Akwana-Gobe and Ochimise finally received hope of getting land after the City of Winter Council gave them the news that they will be relocated to the Samora Machel constituency.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
The homeless land grabbers who have been sleeping at the soccer field in the Tobias Hainyako constituency for over 4 months now received the good news from city officials who went to show them the new land they will be settled at.
It was on 3 of December this month. Municipality told us to come and show us the place where the one we were pleading for. We were asking. So now he gave us this land here at Korea Hub. It's part of, they told us it's a part of Korea Hub Dam. But for us, because we were fighting to get what we want, for now we get a land. And we are very happy for land. Even though there is no water, they are a little bit far somewhere there. There's no school. For now, I think it's better. For us now, we have a hope that municipality is the one who took us to came to this place. So now we are happy. We don't really know when we're going to move to this place so far. Maybe we have to write an appointment to municipality to tell them that we accept the land. We are happy with the land. Maybe they will tell us when we are ready, or maybe they are going to ask us when we are ready to move. Then we come up with the date.
Now we are getting land. At least we hope that we're having a house now. But for us here, our kids that are schooling far, we cannot say that at least that you get a house and home for your future kids that are coming. And the water, only that the water is a little bit far, but at least we are breathing now, we're having a house.
One of the group leaders said that she is thankful to the city for allocating land for them, although it is not serviced. They hope the city will soon bring development to the area.
Since they demolished us, we were just sleeping in the soccer field, in the open spaces. But later on, the municipality, they were promising us, just be patient, we'll make for you a plan. On the 3rd of December, they came and showed us the place, the one which we were crying for. And we are happy, we appreciate it, we are happy. For a person to have your own plot, it's not easy in Windhoek. It's not easy. For what the municipality did, we thank you. We thank you so much. We thank you very much. Hopefully we cannot say, because this place doesn't have water, doesn't have what. We were landless. They gave us a land, but now we hope that those people, they have a plan for us to bring for us water and everything.
The city of Windhoek confirmed that the group applied for land to be settled through the control entry policy that was recently approved by council.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
Enjoy these fantastic payday savings at Clicks until the 28th of December. Buy Clicks 2-ply toilet paper, 18 rolls, $89.99. Buy Nivea deodorant spray, 150 mils, 2 for $52. Buy Pampers Baby Dry disposable nappies, now $241.99 per pack. And buy Radox body wash, 400 mils, or foam bath, 500 mils, 2 for $66. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
Nothing is too good for my daughter. Now here's the deal, Nambi. There's no playing around with other boys before your wedding. Do you understand me? It's the most important day of your life.
Nambi, baby, you have a face like a beautiful person. I got you this Virgin Mary necklace to protect your innocence.
Stupid man. We have loved each other since high school, and now you want to turn your back on me? All the plans we made, you just throw them away? And you want Nambi now? When I've always been there for you, Ziwa, do you understand? And she doesn't even love you. I wasted my time on someone like you.
Don't be like that, Jalia.
Love, everybody needs it. Love.
The affirmative repositioning movement has revealed that they have taken the fish rot issue to an international stage thanks to a partnership with Restitution, a law firm that specializes in commercial litigation, arbitration and dispute resolution. The goal of the partnership, according to Job Amupanda, is to ensure that all assets associated with the fish rot scandal are recovered and invested in Namibia through the Namibia Recovery Fund.
According to Job Amupanda, the AR legal team will approach the government, namely the Minister of Justice, Attorney General and Prosecutor General's offices to join the litigation process with the UK-based law firm in order to recover all assets associated with the fish rot case.
I will immediately engage the Prosecutor General. I will engage the Attorney General. I will also engage the Minister of Justice to persuade the government of the Republic of Namibia to join this meritorious litigation for the benefit of the people of Namibia as applicants. So we'll go to government and say, look, we have already secured lawyers, you don't have to worry about that. We have already secured investigators, you don't have to worry about it. We have already preliminarily located some of these assets of these international companies. You don't have to worry about it. All you have to do is just to join, as applicants. So in other words, so that when we stand there, because we are not budging, we are going ahead. We've already signed the MOU, we are going ahead. We are going after those assets of those big companies. We have an idea where those assets are. The teams are already in place. The restitution is very experienced. It's led by international lawyers and best brains in the United Kingdom who are going to be working in tandem with Kavetu and Kadila. We've already done all those things. So we'll be engaging government and say that we've done the homework. We've done the groundwork. We just need you now to be there, to be applicants, so that when we succeed, you just give the account number. We just give the account number so that when those companies, when the judgments come, and the monies quickly just come to that specific account. But knowing how government operates, particularly when it comes to the AR movement and that jittery attitude, we are also prepared that in the event that these engagements do not bear fruit, the government and those important officers will be cited as respondents in this litigation process.
The agreement signed between the AR and Restitution is for 3 years, according to Stanley Kavetu, the AR's head of legal affairs, and the claims to be litigated by Namibians will not be limited to the fish rot case, but will also include other cases, such as the Government Institutions Pension Fund and the Small and Medium Enterprises Bank.
In terms of the stages, there will be 3 stages of implementation of the agreement. The agreement is signed for 3 years because we intend to pursue the fish rot claims and all other Namibian claims. When it comes to Namibian claims, we're speaking about, for example, GIPF. You'll be aware that money went to South Africa, some money was paid probably abroad, and we have, as the activist-in-chief has indicated, that Restitution is international, highly qualified investigators, people who are able to trace money laundering, experts, doctors, professors who are able to trace tax evasions, cross-border enforcement.
international lawyers with widespread experience when it comes to cross-border experience, how to deal with issues and challenges of jurisdictions and local standing and all of that. So we will pursue the fish rot claims, and then we will also pursue other claims such as the money that even went missing on SME Bank, other claims such as JPF and all of that.
The arrangement also includes legal insurance to safeguard the AR from any financial losses made during the litigation process. The law firm will also collaborate closely with the AR in order to build the capacity of young Namibian lawyers to take on transnational corruption cases.
A girlfriend. Definitely.
Whoa! Wow! Spin and win this summer. Use the MyMTC app or dial *111# and you could win a brand new Toyota Starlet, Corolla Quest or Hilux. MTC, make the connection.
An article titled Vultures, Farmers' Best Friend, authored by freelance journalist and photographer Dirk Heinrich, states that there are still some farmers who kill vultures as they presume that these critically endangered birds kill their livestock, but no concrete evidence has yet been presented to prove that.
Birds are the most unique living species, but they are not as crucial to the ecosystem as vultures, says freelance journalist and photographer Dirk Heinrich.
The farmers must realize, and a lot of them do realize, that the vulture is their best friend. Because first of all, we all should know that the vulture is the health police in our environment. I mean, they clean up carcasses. If an animal has died, they are the first ones there. To scavenge on the carcass and clean up before any diseases can spread. Plus these vultures are the ones who indicate that there's something dead, which is also a good thing for the farmer. He doesn't have to search his whole farm to find out if something has died on his farm or even has been poached and killed on his farm. And the same thing with nature conservation. I mean, a lot of animals are found because the vultures are up in the air and start moving down at a certain place, and then everybody can go and have a look. The farmer to see if his cattle or something has died or if his game has died, and probably find out why the animal has died. As I mentioned, I mean, it could have been a poaching case, and in this way he detects it. And this is actually the problem for the vultures again, because some of the poachers have started, especially when they kill an elephant, as happened in the north, and they actually poison the carcass so that the vultures don't show anybody that there's a dead elephant.
Heinrich started ringing vultures on farms in September 2003, together with former nature conservation official Peter Bridgeford, a move that sparked interest in more farmers.
Sometimes they move away. As I mentioned in the article, I started with Peter Bridgeford, who was a former nature conservation official, who was very interested in vultures, and he started ringing vultures down at Nalcliff Park. And we then started moving onto farms and ringing vultures there, especially the white-backed vultures. And there were quite a lot of vultures in the Hochfeld, Steinhausen, Seeeis area. And suddenly, hardly a vulture bred in that area, and we don't know why. And when they started the vulture restaurant, they told the farmers in the area, Otjiwarongo area, don't put out poison. I thought in this way they can save the vultures. And once we started putting tags on so that you could actually see the vulture from a distance, because the metal ring we used to put on and the colorings weren't very visible. You had to get pretty close to the vulture to see the colorings. The metal ring, the ring, and the number you can't read because it's just too small. And then we started realizing these vultures move further than where they were breeding. For example, some years ago, I ringed white-backed vultures and leopard-faced vultures on a farm about 80 kilometers east of Windhoek. And one of the leopard-faced vultures was seen a year later at mana pools in Zimbabwe. And another one, 1.5 years later, was seen in Umfolozi, KwaZulu-Natal. And of vultures which have been ringed, and that particular one by a farmer who actually turned into a bird ringer. He ringed it north of Tsumeb, and that vulture was also seen in Zimbabwe. So these birds move around. And then some vultures have been fitted with transmitters, especially the leopard-faced vultures, and with that we could see that they started moving around their nest as they got older, then started moving across the country, into Botswana, into South Africa, even into Angola. So it doesn't help if Namibia does something to protect the vultures. It must be a regional effort, since those birds move that far. And we don't know why they move that far. Is it because of food? Is it anything else? We don't know.
Vultures serve as health police by indicating the location of dead animals. As a result, vultures are legally protected species in Namibia. The legislation requires that every vulture killed by a farmer be notified within 10 days.
Early this morning, woke up holding my head, hearing my heartbeat all night long. Shades of this motel keeping me in bed, reading the news, just trying to stay strong. I need to just get up, take a deep breath, keep it together, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Sun on my face, feeling okay. Don't let it get away. It's a beautiful day. Feel so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Feel so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day.
Joseph Shifeni is standing by for this evening's edition of Business on One.
Business on One is proudly brought to you by the Government Institutions Pension Fund.
Welcome to Business on One. I'm your host, Joseph Shifeni. A number of countries have adjusted their repo rate to counter growing inflation in recent months, including South Africa. The Central Bank of Namibia expects inflation to rise above 4% in 2022. The Deputy Governor says for the economy to remain in a healthy state, inflation should be below the policy rate. Annual inflation increased to 3.5% during the first 10 months of 2021, according to the Bank of Namibia, compared to just 2.2% during the same period last year. Despite a projection that the rising levels could reach 4% in 2022, the central bank says that they are not concerned by this outlook.
On a monthly basis, overall inflation increased slightly to around 3.6% in October, from 3.5% in September 2021. Namibian overall inflation is projected to average around 3.6% for the whole of 2021, slightly lower than the previous forecast of 3.7%, but rising close to the level marginally above 4% in 2022. So meaning to say that for next year, inflation is going to hover around 4%. While overall inflation is trending upward, it remains largely well contained. So it is not really something that we need to worry about.
Food and transport were observed to be the main contributors, but the increase in fuel prices also played a role.
The increase in inflation is mainly driven by inflation in food category, in transport, in housing. So these are the key subsectors that are driving inflation to be on an upward trajectory. Of course, this was mainly on account of some kind of supply constraint for certain food categories, a rise as well in the international oil price. As you may know very well, when international oil price rises, it has an impact on our domestic fuel prices. I think you have really seen quite a consecutive increase of fuel prices, the pump prices. I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you compare the pump price of diesel and petrol from January up to now, January, a liter of fuel, of unleaded and diesel, they were in the range of $11 per liter. But as we are speaking now, I just visited one service station last night. I saw, and I was just looking at the board, it was $16 per liter. That is quite a significant increase.
The Deputy Governor further said that they have taken note of the increasing trend in inflation globally and recognizes its imminent impact on monetary policy going forward.
Business on One was proudly brought to you by the Government Institutions Pension Fund.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
More than ever before, football fans demand unique insight and analysis. The Football Review is much more than a highlights show. Bold, provocative editorial that goes beyond conventional reporting, setting the agenda for football discussion. Champions League, Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga 1, and much more. Want genuine insight with hard-hitting editorial? Need compelling premium football content? The Football Review. Best, bar none.
In other leading stories, the Robert Koch Institute, together with partners Sanlam and the First Rand Namibia Foundation, handed over a container laboratory to the Namibia Institute of Pathology, NIP, at the Walfish Bay State Hospital. Shikwa Kathingo, FNB Area Sales and Service Manager, in his address said that the First Rand Hope Fund was approached by the Ministry of Health and Social Services for financial support to convert a container in Walfish Bay into additional lab space, adding that they firmly believe that testing remains critical and is crucial to help treat, isolate or hospitalize people who are infected. The Health Ministry's Executive Director Ben Nangombe emphasized the importance of vaccination, as this was the best way to stave off another devastating wave. He called on all social partners and stakeholders to encourage all eligible persons to get vaccinated. And the Old Mutual, in partnership with the Namibia Stock Exchange, along with other partners, awarded the top 5 winning teams that took part in the Namibian Scholar Investment Challenge. In total, 162 teams from across Namibia's 14 regions had the opportunity to trade listed shares on the NSX after receiving a fictitious 500,000 Namibia dollars. The aim of the NSIC is to introduce the Namibian youth to stock market investments and to provide them with knowledge on broader aspects of capital market operations. The girls from Windhoek Gymnasium got the first prize of 50,000 Namibia dollars with a return of 30.8% on the initial investment they had, followed by teams from the University of Namibia, the Eagle Investors, who came in second place with a return of 23.3% and received a cash prize of 30,000 Namibia dollars. Trading Masters came in third place with a return of 16.8% and walked away with a cash prize of 20,000 Namibia dollars, followed by Edu United in fourth place, who got 10,000 Namibia dollars and had a return of 10%, while Nam Wealth got 5,000 Namibia dollars and had a return of 8.8%. To enable the participants to trade, each team received a starter pack consisting of basic information and a glossary on financial terminologies. The participants were tasked with doing research and applying analytical skills to make good investment decisions with the goal of increasing the value of their portfolio by the end of the trading date.
We are molded with the utmost intricacy, unique and ever-evolving. But we will always need a guiding hand.
Dear teachers, we know all the hard work you put in every day to make sure our kids get the best education possible. It's also our goal here at One Africa TV's #LearnOn1. That's why we bring free quality supplementary lessons that are 100% Namibian, complements of NMH's MyZone. Lessons include early childhood development programs and primary school lessons. These air on One Africa TV every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Mpaka tuyadha otuli pamwe nangoe mompombo ya mainyanyudho ote ea mukuru okuzangenea totere mombo omaobigari upeigiari omrunga radio ogwakala nokukundaneka okunyanyudha nokuyakuroshiwana omrunga radio yotango monamibia.
Connect in style with O Smartphone, Namibia's most affordable 4G handset. Enjoy high-speed connectivity to music, videos, and social media. Experience life on the 4G fast lane when you swap your 2G or 3G SIM for a free 4G SIM. Get it all for only $4.99 Namibian dollars, and you can make the connection with MTC.
A look at Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. A 25-year-old woman living near a dump site in Ochemise's Achterlaan informal settlement finds it difficult to raise her 2-week-old baby alone after her boyfriend, who brought her to the city, left her to fend for herself.
Monica advises that men and women be taught to stop running after useless relationships and making babies. Lloyd says the boyfriend should be arrested. Pearl advises that she goes back to her village and raise her baby. Rosemary says her English is good, advising her to look for a job. Naomi notes that the rainy season is approaching, adding that it's not safe for her.
And that's all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day, only on Today on 1.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m., you can stay true to Namibia sounds with the Valentine's True Music Sessions. Only on 99 FM. Stay tuned. Stay true. There's no wrong way. Valentine's. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
I only spin with one tires. I won't drive with them. The road to zero starts with me.
I don't drink and drive. I'm going to take a taxi.
1, 2. Safe to zero. Put on your seatbelt, safe. Yeah. The road to zero starts with me.
Jaywalk and it might be your last walk. The road to zero begins with me.
Better late than never. The road to zero starts with me.
There was a silence that connected us all. But the journey started long before that day.
Coach has a gift to be able to spot talent a mile away.
I think the family kind of feeling makes the athletes feel like they want to perform for him.
This is a match made in heaven. We just become one. There was difficult times. I said to the girls, we didn't do all this just for one lump to take us off track. We started talking about this journey, and the way we actually painted that journey is almost perfectly the way it ended.
We thought that maybe one of them will make the finals. Both of them made the finals, then the rest is history.
Quiet broken by the firing of the gun, and they're off.
And here comes Christine Bommer in second place. Will they do it today? Oh, of course! 21-81.
This one belongs to us all as one.
And looking back on the sports front this year, the Namibia senior men's cricket team ended their fairy tale T20 World Cup campaign on a high note. Despite a shaky start to the campaign with a defeat to Sri Lanka, the team won 2 of their Group A matches, setting up a debut in the Super 12 round. The Eagles' first game in the round saw them beat Scotland by 4 wickets, further losing to cricket giants Afghanistan, Pakistan, New Zealand and India, crashing out of the tournament. Here's Castro Ulumbu with more on this story.
The Eagles tournament started with a 7-wicket loss against Sri Lanka, but they went on to defeat the Netherlands by 6 wickets and Ireland by 8 wickets to finish second behind Sri Lanka, setting up a debut in the Super 12 round of the campaign. Namibia was then pitted in Group 2 with cricket giants New Zealand, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India and Scotland. Yet again, Namibia proved to be a force to be reckoned with in the group as they started off with a winning start when they defeated Scotland by 4 wickets. Next on the fixture list were tournament favourites Afghanistan, Pakistan, New Zealand and India. Despite spectacular performances against the 4 nations, Namibia unfortunately lost all 4 games and were knocked out of the 2021 tournament. In a post-match interview following their last game of the T20 World Cup Super 12 round against India, captain of the Namibia senior men's cricket team, Gerard Erasmus, highlighted the team's performance and qualification for the 2022 World Cup despite being knocked out.
It's quick turnarounds between the games, so we haven't quite been able to really soak in what's been happening and what the experiences have been around us. I think only once we get back to Windhoek we'll really realize that we played at an awesome level of cricket, and we managed to compete in many of these games. We got a taste for what the level is like, and hopefully if we put ourselves out there more in tournaments like this, our cricket can only grow. Absolutely, as you say there, you've highlighted a few performances that guys individually can take from a tour like this.
Trumpelman was good.
Yeah, Trumpelman hit his straps, in that game against Scotland. So, we can take a lot of those positives individually, and as a team, we'll take this experience as a whole. It's going to lay a good foundation for us. So, if we want to, make the next step, we'll probably take this experience in. But that's another, awesome thing for us to look forward to. We've probably inspired another generation of cricketers looking to play cricket in Namibia, so they'll be looking forward to, next year's World Cup already, and they'll see that Namibia plays at a higher level. So, if they want to make some career choices, then we've inspired them at this tournament.
Following their fairy tale performance at the 2021 tournament, Namibia's Eagles have now also secured a spot at the 2022 ICC Cricket World Cup, which is scheduled for Melbourne, Australia. The Eagles will arrive back home on Wednesday, the 10th of November.
That is all we have for you. Do join us again tomorrow, same time. And don't forget to follow us on our social media pages for more. From me, Maggie Forciero, and the rest of the team, till next time, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future. A hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUL for life. We are IUL.
I like rhinos. I like them very much. Future here in this area is depending on the tourism. The future generation, they can see and they can benefit from their own resources. Animals like rhinos, elephants, the big five, you benefit from them and it must be respected. You are not feeding the rhinos, you are not giving them water, So it's a free business.
I don't know.
I take two of my sons, which was little bit 5 years old. They were young guys. So they asked me questions. Why are we here? Why are we sleeping here? I told them this is our resources and this is our future.
My first memory of going with my dad is that I learned new things. As I grow up as a man, I see an opportunity in it. So I decided to look for a job pertaining tourism. So that's when I was employed at Palamba. So I decided to go for tour guide studies. Because I grew up with the tourism industry, the wildlife, the rhinos and everything, to bring that experience to the tourists. You can see the hyena. The biggest change is I was employed, I'm getting paid, and also I can now support my family.
It's a cultural thing. It's coming a long way. Even if you go to area like Tweefontein, area was a lot of paintings. You will see rhino engravings on the rocks. That is an indication that the interaction between human, especially the local communities and wildlife, is dating back. That intimacy relationship is coming for a long time.
We are right here now at Palamba, and Palamba is one of the big lodges in the heart of the desert. And as you can see there is Jumbo standing behind me, which shows it's really a tourist area. We do have elephants, lions, but as you can see, the desert is the heart of the rhinos. This is the main breeding area of the rhinos, is what we found here in this desert.
It's the largest free roaming population of black rhinos that you find outside national parks in the world. It's a population that communities in the northwest have taken responsibility themselves in managing this population with the structures that government has put in place, more specifically the establishment of conservancies.
These people, before independence, they took it upon themselves and decided that wildlife is our heritage, and through history we've been living with wildlife. And having wildlife in your area is like having a garden.
Because of all these animals, we've got the communities that benefit from all this wildlife. And it's like a triangle that fits into each other. And the communities looked after the wildlife doing their own thing, and the communities benefit.
So already there were this intergenerational relationship between mankind and wildlife, and that bond is what our people actually wanted to see it continuing.
Very few countries have the wildlife that Namibia has. What is also important is the policies that Namibia has put in place, which also involves communities to be engaged in the management of the wildlife species and also to benefit from the wildlife resources.
10 conservation into a rural economy, 10 conservation into endless opportunities that would actually cater for those young people that have nothing else to do.
If it was not for rhino economy and tourism in this area, it was really difficult for young people to get or find a job.
We are conservation engineers. We make conservation work in an unfenced area, and through that, we want to turn the wildlife into the rural economy that will benefit the rural communities.
So We can see now wildlife is doing very well, the lodges are doing well, and the community is also benefiting. So it takes all three together.
Devastating hit over coronavirus fears. Airline industry is facing its biggest threat to travel since 9/11.
Since March, when COVID-19 hit Namibia, things actually become very difficult. In the first place, all the lodges closed down because of COVID-19. With us, say the Rhino Trust, we had some donors cutting on their funding. And then we had, in the same time, a poaching case of 2 rhinos that was poached. We had less boots on the ground, and poachers could actually see. Now it's our chance to go in and do something. So COVID-19 was tough on all of us. Ginger Morning, who is one of our trustees, actually came up with the idea of, why don't we ask you to go to buy some gold for us and make gold bars, and then we sell them for rhino conservation.
I was fortunate enough to have a chance to have lunch with Clive Johnson, the CEO of B2 Gold in Vancouver, Canada. And I looked at Clive and I said, we've got rhinos, you've got gold, let's do something. Let's create a coin or a medallion or a bar using your resource to create a sustainable source of funding for rhino conservation for the future.
There was it. The gold was bought, the bars was made, and I think it was 31st of January that we launched the bars in Windhoek. And suddenly one morning I had an email from my office, from my finance person, saying, these people don't have salaries. So I said, oh, what now? So I picked up my phone and I phoned Mark Dow. I said, Mark, I've got this problem. He said, but when we've got the fund already ready for you, you just have to apply, put a proposal in.
1,000 ounces of gold can make an enormous difference to the livelihoods of the communities that live up there. We are, in essence, providing income and providing a livelihood to the communities. In the absence of tourism, especially now with COVID-19, even prior to that, when we had such a bad drought, the communities became even more dependent on the natural economy.
The idea is to make this a fund that will last for the next 25, 30 years, or even longer. And a portion of that will be distributed immediately as needed. And in this case, the COVID-19 crisis necessitated us to distribute funds to pay salaries to help people in the field.
The proceeds of the sales from the gold bars will be going towards responsible NGOs. And we've identified Save the Rhino Trust as the key NGO. And IRDNC, one of the first organizations that was in the Northwest, integrated rural development and nature conservation, so that ultimately the funds go to the communities and various aspects of their war on poaching.
To be able to support those hardworking men and women that are always in the front line between the poachers and the rhinos.
If it was not for B2 Gold and the golden bars, I think by now we should have been in big trouble.
By extracting the gold, you reinvest it in other renewable resources.
The gold that's coming out from the ground is actually protecting the wildlife that's working on the ground, which is a very good symbol for the others.
I wish this was my bar. This is the 500 gram gold bar. So you'll see on this side you've got the Etindeka Mountains and you've got the mother rhino with her calf. And then on the reverse side we've got the serial number, you've got the Rand Refinery stamp, which is very important. Anywhere in the world people will recognize the stamp and they will know that this bar contains 99.99% gold.
It is gorgeous.
We wanted to make a biggest contribution. And at Ballowwood we see that as a way of giving back to the community.
Okay, so there you'll see the 500 gram bar.
Very special.
Feel the weight. It's incredible.
This opportunity which presented itself is absolutely a once in a lifetime opportunity.
We're privileged to have this.
This is just absolutely gorgeous, and I think this showcase really what the project is all about.
It's from 24 karat Namibian gold.
I'm looking at these rhinos is put there like Miss World photogenic, I would say.
There are only 1,000 of these gold bars, rhino gold bars, in circulation.
As far as I'm aware, it's the largest single donation of any corporate
to the conservation of biodiversity anywhere in Africa.
Therefore, we so much appreciate and would want to continue as a government to work with B2 Gold.
And the fact that it's happening here in Namibia is something that we can all be extremely proud about and very grateful to B2 Gold.
Thanks to having this literal pot of gold through the funding for the Rhino Gold Bar, we're able to step in now and make sure that those trackers are supported, and so are their families and their communities.
We make sure that people sustain their jobs going forward. And who doesn't want gold?
And the B2 Gold Rhino Gold Bar has come in at a really critical time now, particularly with tourism being closed off and those forms of revenue not coming in.
To say we have the biggest rhino population or black rhino population in the world, let it be for the rest of our lives. And it's that heritage that we have. It's our resource that we can all look after and protect.
It's our heritage. And it's also good that other people like B2 Gold are also seeing it that way.
It's actually a very nice link between the investor that buys this gold bar, the rhino tracker in the northwest of Namibia, and the black rhinos. It's an intergenerational thing. The rhino trackers teach their children how to track rhinos, their children get taught, and so it flows down.
This is something that I want my children to have, and that we leave a little bit of a B2 Gold legacy. And if I can be part of that as part of my family, I'd be very proud.
It can also become an inheritance for the generations of my own clan. My children, my grandchildren.
If we can bring that passion over to future generations and to hand that over to my children, and I hope that that same passion for conservation gets migrated over to my kids.
And what we've done together is create a sustainable source of funding that should outlive all of us.
You know, I think as far as B2 Gold is concerned, we couldn't have chosen a better target in which to put our efforts as far as the environmental and conservation pillar is concerned. And I want to stress there that the money that's going towards environment and conservation is actually going towards the people.
Rhino is for all of us, whether you are in Canada, whether you are in Vancouver, whether you are in the US. If you really want to see conservation at play with rural communities, I therefore humbly request each and everyone to join us on our rhino tour and have a wonderful experience. This is what keeps rhinos on this planet.
I've done rhino trekking experience. It was just amazing walking in that landscape of the Kunene. And as we followed them, we could now find rhinos with the calf. We got the closest distance we could.
It's a warning sign.
And it was just amazing and lovely. Something to experience that Namibia can offer. It's something that you have to do in your life.
know about the Leaning Tower of Windhoek? It is decked artistically with unique metal bars to counter the skewness caused by hasty construction, and is one of the 2 chimneys of the Van Eck coal-driven power station set on the northern outskirts of Windhoek. The 2 towers were built in the late 60s by Southwest Africa Water and Electric Corporation, or SWAVEC, today referred to as NamPower, with the approval from the South African government as an afterthought of the original plan recommended by the controversial Odendaal Commission. This was due to the prolonged negotiations with the Portuguese government regarding the Ruacana scheme for the construction of the Kaluwek Dam in Angola to regulate the river flow